This is Weather or Not.
And welcome into Weather or Not for this Wednesday, October 30th, Halloween Eve. I am Chief Meteorologist Jamie Arnold.
Yeah, we're about to say goodbye to October, hello to November, and as we do so, let's talk about the three things you need to know as you step out. That's going to be the big story here for this week.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to start off with a Halloween treat of a forecast coming up. That warmth continuing not only though for Halloween, but also right on through the start of November. And we also have, well, the tropics.
Yeah, the tropics.
Not quite done just yet.
Yeah, the chance of development still there, lingering probably into the weekend next week. But let's talk about Halloween, shall we? Can't get enough of this cat and those graphics. Let's give you the first alert to that Halloween forecast. And a warm afternoon on tap, but for trick-or-treating, a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, it's looking beautiful there for those trick-or-treaters heading out. For the younger kids going out earlier, we'll have those temperatures into the low to mid 70s, slipping our way down into the upper 60s to near 70 for some of the big kids that may tend to stay out a little bit later heading into tomorrow night. But it's all about the warmth, not only for Halloween, but as we turn the calendar into the month of November. Look at this. That's the long-range temperature outlook all the way through the first 7 days of November.
And spoiler alert, looks like it's going to continue again. Another cold front will come through, but then we'll see another warm up through the middle of November. You see values like that. That doesn't mean it's going to be extremely hot, but for November standards, yeah, we're going to be warmer than where we are. Look at Sunday. We'll get a brief cool spell come in here with a weak front, but then as we head toward next week, normal high temperature, Jamie, 71 degrees. We're approaching 80s.
Yeah, once again, going to be flirting with that 80-degree mark, and I think we'll once again, even next week for the first week in November, have a couple of spots inland especially that take a run at that 80-degree mark. Let's jump into the tropical update, and really not a lot has changed. Still kind of talking about the same area that we've been talking about for a week now, and that's down there across the Central Caribbean. Medium chance of development. Models are pretty consistent on something starting to bubble up down here, especially late this week into the weekend.
Yeah, and keep in mind there's a lot of long-range models and things that are being shared. We've talked about this before. Most of that has no clue on what's going to happen. Center of circulation has not formed yet with this. So until we get a actual low pressure later this week, then we'll be able to have a better understanding on, okay, when does this become a tropical system and how far does it go?
Exactly. So again, until something forms, really no idea on where it's going to go, but we'll continue to keep an eye on it. Shall we go coast to coast now?
Yeah, one of my favorite segments here as we go coast to coast for you and talk about the forecast that you'll see as we head into Halloween.
And it is a very quiet one. Notice heading through the day tomorrow, there will be some active weather across the deep south, down through Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, into Louisiana, some showers and some thunderstorms for the trick-or-treaters. But notice it is quiet and very mild across the Carolinas and the deep south. A lot of 70s, a lot of 80s. We have a lot of company with our unseasonably warm weather.
Yeah, and as we go up to the northeast, more of the same, kind of waiting for that cold front and the passage of it as we go toward the end of the week and into the weekend. You'll notice a few clouds will start to work in as you head toward Buffalo and even portions of Pennsylvania as we go into Halloween night, but still calm and quiet and comfortable too, especially up in the northeast. Temperatures in the 70s and lower 80s.
And that dry weather up there, similar to what we've seen around here, leading to a couple of large brush fires in and around parts of Massachusetts. At least one air quality warning has been issued due to the smoke from large wildfires there in Salem, Massachusetts. A spooky place at Halloween, even more spookier there with that smoke. 130 acres of brush is burned in the North Shore wildfire that started back on Saturday.
Yeah, it's crazy. Firefighters in there have been working with tanker trucks trying to get everything kind of taken care of. And I really do believe this could be the story, not only for the East Coast as we go into some warmer weather, but even continuing with the Midwest. A lot of the area is still in a drought too.
Yeah, it is remaining very quiet. With a little more action though across the middle part of the country. Look at the blue on the map. Minneapolis up to Duluth, maybe picking up the first wet flakes of the season as we head into Halloween. Some of that extending into the upper peninsula of Michigan there. That is obviously where the cooler weather is focused. Yeah, those temperatures tomorrow, highs only into the 30s from Minneapolis to Duluth into International Falls.
All right, let's continue our coast to coast here. And as we do so, we'll take you over to the southwest. You'll notice, yeah, pretty much quiet across Arizona and even into portions of New Mexico. High pressure behind that front means nice and dry and quiet for Halloween. How about temperature wise? not a bad one. Flagstaff, 55 degrees. Big temperature gradient set up as usual there in Arizona, 81 in Phoenix. But look at Texas and Oklahoma. We're talking temperatures 66 in Oklahoma City, 77 in Dallas. And listen, that rain that moved through, welcome sign there in Oklahoma, especially as wildfires have continued there as well. Here's some video from Oklahoma where powerful winds continue to fuel some of those wildfires across basically the plains. The growing wildfire is a threatening areas that continue as emergency alerts are out there urging residents to basically evacuate immediately, and basically all hands on deck here, Jamie, in Edmonton, Oklahoma.
Yeah, big wind, the issue out there. Some very strong winds behind that front that did bring a little bit of rain, but obviously with a lot of warmth, a lot of dry brush as they tend to get around there in Oklahoma and Texas this time of the year. And it doesn't take much to get those fires started, and you throw in that strong wind and those fires spread rapidly. Let's take you off to the West Coast where again there's a bit more action here. Rain and mountain snow for coastal sections of Washington down to Oregon. And you can see that snow showing up there in the Cascades west of Eugene and Medford, Oregon. Some of that snow extending all the way over towards West Yellowstone, Jackson, Wyoming, picking up some snow, and some of those chilly temperatures, 30s and 40s in the mountains, 50s there along the coast, and even a little bit cool down towards Southern California with those temperatures into the upper 60s.
All right, let's take it to one of our favorite segments. It's the temperature extremes yesterday, 101 in Rio Grande Village, Texas. But how about White Sulphur Springs, Montana, 8 degrees. Fun fact for that Montana town, Castletown is what it used to be called.
Okay.
It was spooky and haunted. They changed the town name because of on the hauntings. You can still see the buildings there in Castletown.
Wait, so what was the original name?
Castletown, and now it is White Sulphur
Springs.
So
8
fun
degrees.
fact.
I love
It's
that.
fitting too with Halloween.
Yeah, love that. All right, let's talk about our local weather history. We'll take you back to 1952.
Yes, please.
Yes, please. I would much rather have that than the 70s and 80s we're dealing with. Look at that cold snap. It was a nasty one. 21 degrees in Dillon, 23 in Lumberton, 25 in Myrtle Beach, marking the coldest October temperature on record. Now on to one of my favorite segments we've been doing here over the past week. Yes, check this out with Jenna. She's been counting down the spookiest weather that you can sometimes encounter. And today we're talking about scud clouds. Take it away, Jenna.
Have you ever seen a scud cloud during a severe weather event thinking a tornado is coming to you? Well, there is no tornado associated with scud clouds. They're low, ragged clouds associated with showers and storms, and as they move erratically, they can be mistaken for a funnel cloud or a tornado. But with scud clouds, they lack that rotation and that organization, so no tornado is going to form. However, they do give you that spooky and eerie feeling, especially during some severe weather events. For Weather or Not, I'm meteorologist Jenna Greenhill.
And you can certainly see why they can be mistaken for tornadoes. Those scud clouds, especially around here when it's really muggy in the summer, we get those thunderstorms. You can get those scud clouds that come all the way down to the ground.
I like too how they look like fingers reaching out.
Yeah.
There's the
and they're usually moving a lot. They're going up and sideways. Yeah, definitely a horror movie kind of a sky.
Well, of course, from the spooky season to how about some music that was taking place for some of the Helene victims there in North Carolina. We talked about this. I was so pumped. It was amazing. Concert for Carolina with Sheryl Crow, Eric Church, Luke Combs, Keith Urban, James Taylor. I could keep going. Raises $24.5 million and counting for all of that going directly to Western North Carolina. The best part about it, they got the venue for free. They got everything there for free. And to the point to where David Tepper, the owner of the Panthers, told Luke Combs during the show, hey, we're going to donate all the beer money, all the food money, all of that's going to the victims there up in the mountains.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think I also read that was the biggest crowd ever at the Bank of America Stadium, which is no small stadium.
82,000.
That's insane.
They were releasing extra tickets too, which was absolutely crazy to see. So fantastic there that's been going through. So concert for the Carolinas, obviously a very good thing. Let's go ahead and talk about also something that's happening this weekend. Not a fan of it. I'm sure many of you aren't. Daylight saving time ending. But will we always see this? Are we going to stay on one time? Meteorologist Matt Bullock has the answer.
Daylight saving time will be ending this weekend, so make sure you set the clocks back 1 hour for Saturday night. We see our sunrise go from 7:30 a.m. down to 6:30 a.m. Our sun setting going from 6:20 down to 5:20. I know during daylight saving time, a lot of people hate losing that extra hour of sleep. And there's been questioning, will there ever be a time where daylight saving time will be gone for good? Well, in 2021, there was a bill reintroduced in 2023, known as the Sunshine Protection Act, making daylight saving time permanent year-round. It hasn't been brought to the floor, but it's looking less likely to pass. But what would it look like if we had year-round daylight saving time? Well, in the winter months, we will not see the sunrise till after 8 a.m. Sun will be setting at 6:11 instead of 5:20. And then during the summer times, sunrise at 6 a.m. and then sun will be setting at 8:30 to similar to what we see now. But what if we just got rid of daylight saving time permanently? Well, during the winter months, not much change. We'll see a sunrise 7:16 in the morning, sun will be setting at 5:11. But during the summertime, the sun will be rising a little after 5 a.m. and then setting at 7:20 p.m.
Could you imagine 5:11 a.m., 7:20 p.m.?
I like the darker earlier in the winter. I like it. It's cozy, but a 7:30 sunset in the summer, I don't know if I'm a fan of that part.
Especially when you're so used to the 8:30.
Yeah, 8:30, 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
Yeah. But not having to stay up till 10 o'clock for fireworks on July 4th could be a benefit.
Yeah.
Fireworks at 7:45, I'm in.
Yeah, me too. Earlier
home and in my pajamas by 9 o'clock.
Let's go ahead and take you to another favorite segment as far as we love them all. See it, snap it, send it. This one where we showcase your photos. How about this one from Tina Vucci coming in? Beautiful out there, seeing some of those clouds and these photos here with the reflection over the water. This is exactly, you could paint this, Jamie.
Yeah, that's a good painting, a good perspective, lots of good depth and color in that painting. May have to add that to my list. Let's go to Leslie's picture. This coming to us from the South Strand Rec Center with a couple of those little sprinkles and showers around, a nice little rainbow showing up earlier this week. And we love to see your pictures as well. It is easy to do. Scan this QR code right here on the screen, and that will take you right to the WNBF First Alert Weather app, where you can send in those pictures, fill out a quick little form, your name, where it's from, and we will be sharing it here and elsewhere. We want to see them, weather related or not.
Yeah, weather related or not. Also, happy Halloween Eve.
Yeah.
Fun show planned for you tomorrow.
Really fun show planned tomorrow. It's going to be good.
We're not even going to give anything away.
Nope.
Can't wait for it at all. That's going to do it for Whether or Not here on your Wednesday. We'll see you tomorrow for Halloween. And of course, we'll look ahead and give you the first alert to November.